This is Brother Teacher, and the topic and or subject today is that of, have you been cheated on? And I mean it just the way I put it. Have you ever had anyone in a relationship with you cheat on you? We're talking about the subject of infidelity. Doesn't mean that I'm beating up on anyone specifically in my own past experiences, but I personally have experienced this. I have been cheated on, but I've never cheated myself. I have never had a fling or another woman on the side when I was in a committed relationship or marriage, but I have had it happen to me. Now, I will say this. I'm not going to give any gory details about my past relationship or relationships because it's not necessary. And then there are many people out there listening that would probably not be so kind in responding because everybody's watching YouTube, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you have to use a little wisdom when you are talking about certain subject matter on the airways, so to speak, or virtually. Now, getting back to the subject of being cheated on. I was cheated on, and I will say this, as a man, it hurt. It is a pain, it is a hurt that is very difficult to describe if you have not been there yourself. This is when you love that other person and you meet them and you feel that the love is reciprocated, that is amiable, it's exactly the same as mutual. And you come to find out down the road, while you're at work, some other things are going on. And I'll leave it at that. But I will say this. It hurt me to the core of my existence as a man and a human being because I truly felt violated. I truly felt hurt. I truly felt used even. And there are other stronger adjectives that I can probably use. I think betrayed is probably one of the greatest ones that I can use. I was betrayed. After giving so much in my life to this person, and to find out somewhere down the road that they was not as committed to our relationship as I was. And that's it. So my question to you today is, have you been cheated on, male or female, even female and female and male and male, whatever the case is, if you've been cheated on, how did you take it? Did you take it with a grain of salt? Did it make you want to hurt the person physically? Did it make you want to go on a rampage and destroy all of the memories of your past with that individual, all of the things that you accomplished together? Let's say buying your first automobile together, or your home, apartment, whatever the case was. Did you start taking pictures off the wall and breaking furniture and breaking out the window and just go into some sort of chaotic, how should I say, for lack of a better word, did you go blank? Did you go crazy? Well, I want to tell you this. For those who have already gone through it, I want to encourage you, and I hope that those who have already gone through it, I hope you made it out okay. And just take it as an experience that you had in life, and now it's water under the bridge. And move forward. You're going to make it. And hopefully you have made it, some of those who have already gone through this. But if you're currently going through a situation right now, and I was told just by an associate the other day, a young lady was telling me that her boyfriend was cheating on her with her best friend, and she's trying to not start any waves, and she's trying to gracefully move out of that situation. And it's just funny that she brought that up, but this is my subject as well. But I told her to just hang in there, and I say try to make it as smooth a transition as possible. And I'm saying that to you if you are still in one of those types of relationships. And unfortunately, sometimes we're in a relationship like this, And if you're a woman, you find it difficult to leave the situation because you depend on that man financially, or maybe for some other reasons. And the truth can be the same for the man as well. You might be part-time working, or you might be disabled or what have you, and your wife or your spouse might be cheating on you, and you may not be able to extricate or leave yourself out of that situation, or get yourself out of that situation. So whatever your reason is, I want you to think long and hard. First thing I want you not to do is to become violent and put your hands on one or the other person. Men have no right putting their hands on a woman, and a woman has no right putting her hands on the man. I don't care how angry you get, go somewhere by yourself, take a deep breath. I'm not telling you to commit suicide. You should never do that. And I know sometimes you can't stop people from thinking like this because they feel like the world has collapsed in on them. But there is always going to be a better day. Don't put your hope and your love 100% into that other person to the point where you can't survive or exist as a single person until someone else comes along. There is someone out there for you. You don't necessarily have to go looking for another person, because oftentimes you will find what you're looking for, but it will be not what you need. So if you have been abused or been in a situation where you have been indirectly abused, I'm saying when the person was by the cloak of midnight, they're gone somewhere and they're fooling around with somebody else, abused them that way. If you are a victim of this situation and you still are considered a victim, I want you to know, because this was something that you didn't do. He didn't like the way you looked after a while, and he felt like he found something better, grass greener on the other side of the street, or whatever the case was. That's wrong. And her, the same is true. If she's out there and she found her a beau or a big hunk, a chunk or something of a man, and she felt like he said the right things to her and so forth, so she cheated on you. I don't care if it happened one time or if it was ongoing. Don't result to violence. Remove yourself from that situation, if at all possible, in a graceful, quiet sort of way. Try to have communication with that person as it relates to what has occurred. Talk to them intellectually, and I know this is not always possible with some people, just depending on how you have been raised, your education, and your maturity at the same time. Okay, so move on. That's what I'm getting at. Move on. You have a right to leave that situation and not continue to be psychologically punished for the rest of your life. You deserve better, men and women. You deserve better. So if you are a victim of this situation, leave it. Especially if your spouse, your other half, your better half, has done this in an ongoing fashion. I'm not talking about just once. They've done this several times. They don't love you. Couldn't possibly love you. Love is unconditional. Understand this. Now, I could do a part 2 and a part 3 to this, if you would like me to. If you have some questions, some more specific questions that you need some answers to. And I'm an expert on this. I'm an expert on being cheated. I went through it for a while, and I'm here to talk about it. So if you need some encouragement, if you need someone to tell you that you can make it, as I'm saying in this video right now, if you need some more of that and you want to hear it from me personally to you, just chime in. Give me your feedback. You don't have to give me any gory details or any specifics about your relationship. You can keep it all general, but just let me know that someone hurt you, and I will give you my honest viewpoint as to where you go from this situation here. But what you don't want to do is continue in that situation of being abused. Even if you're not being physically abused, you're being psychologically and emotionally abused, and you don't deserve that either. Life is short. We only have one go at this thing called life, and you deserve to have the best experience on planet Earth as you possibly can without someone else destroying your pursuit of happiness. This is Brother Teacher. Let me know what you think.